Hi, welcome to the video tutorial Spring Boot Security from Authentication with in-memory users. With me, Namaming from CodeJava.net. Throughout this video, you will learn how to secure web pages in a Spring Boot application by implementing login and logout features with in-memory credentials. So, why using in-memory users? Login with in-memory users is suitable for applications that need simple authentication with a fixed set of credentials, and because it's quick and easy to implement. To follow this tutorial, make sure that you have the following software programs installed on the computer. First is Java Development Kit, JDK, Spring Boot Suite IDE, and in my case, I'm using MySQL for my existing Spring Boot project. And here are the technologies used in this tutorial: Spring Framework, Spring Security, Spring Boot, Timeleaf for the view templates, Maven for project build, and Spring Boot developer tools for automatic restart and reload whenever we make changes to the code. Let me show you my existing Spring Boot project for a Java web application that needs to be secure. You see a product manager project using a Spring Boot. Now let me run this application in Spring Boot Suite IDE. Start. Good. The Spring Boot application is up and running. Now let's test the application. Localhost 8080. And you see, this is my existing Spring Boot application. You see, it's a product manager application. You can create a new product, edit and delete. For example, create a new product name. For example, iPhone 11 brand, Apple, made in China, price 1,300. Save. And you see the new product appears in the list here, iPhone 11, and we can edit this price to just $199. Save, and you see it is updated, and we can delete this product. You see the product was removed. So it's a very simple CRUD type application. And now we need to secure this application using login form. Require the user to enter username and password to access the features of the application. And here are the steps you need to follow to implement form authentication for our Spring Boot application. First, we need to add Spring Security dependency to the project, and then we code the login form, and then we configure authentication details like in-memory users and login settings, logout settings, and then we test login and logout. And bonus, I will show you how to code authorization. Now come back to Spring Boot Suite IDE. I think it's better to stop the application now, because we are going to write a lot of code, make a lot of changes to the project's code. Now we need to, this is Maven project file, and to use Spring Security, we need to declare a dependency for Spring Security here. dependency. Copy the group ID from the above dependency, and artifact ID is spring dash boot dash starter dash security. That's it. Save. And here we see Maven will automatically download the required Java files for Spring security. As you can see here, some Spring security Java files. Now we can start our Spring Boot application to see what will happen after adding Spring security dependency. Refresh, and here we see. You see, this is a default login form provided by Spring Security, but we want to use a custom login form, so that's why we need to code a login form. So create a new HTML file here as a HTML file. Next, login.html. Next, finish. Stop the application. You see, this is a default login form provided by Spring Security, and I think we may need to create a custom login form. Change the title to login product manager. We use the div section here. Please log in and see the form. We have a label username and then text field for username, and then password field, and a login button is the typical login form label. Username. And you see input type equal text, name, username. And the second row is for password. Password, name, password. Type is the password. You can see this form in offline mode. Right click, open with web browser. And you see this is a login form. And the login button. input type equal submit, value is login, save, refresh this, and you see the login form looks like this. And we need to use some CSS style to make the form looks better. Style text CSS for the body, and the flowing div section we need to center the content, text align, center. And for the label, input type equal text, input type equal password, display type is inline block, and we specify the width is about 150 pixel, and margin is about 5 pixel. Save, refresh, and you see it looks a little bit better, right? And for the button, input type equal submit, make it wider, 60 pixel, margin 10 pixel, padding 10 pixel, and text alignment is center. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we have done coding the login form. You see, very typical login form. Okay, so far we have done these first two steps, and next we need to configure authentication details. So we need to create a new Java class here. Class name is web security config, and this should extend the Spring class web security configure adapter here. Finish. And in this configuration class for Spring security, we need to use enable web security annotation, and the configuration annotation. So Spring framework, we scan this class and enable security for our application. And we need to override a couple of methods. So override in my methods the configure method with HTTP security here, and the user detail service method here. Okay. In this user detail service method, we need to provide as a user details. And because in this tutorial we are going to use in-memory credentials, so we create user details here. User details, user1 equal user, and we can use a factory method from the user class in Spring Security API with username, name, hm, and password, for example code Java. And this user has the role user and build, and we return a new in-memory user details manager class in memory user details manager with user1. And next in the configure method with HTTP security here, we specify the authentication rules and settings for login and logout. HTTP authorize a request, and for any request we require the user to log in authenticated, and the form login. Here we configure the form login. We use a custom login page, so we specify the URL to the login page here / login. And this login is accessible to everyone, so we call permit all method, and for the logout also permit all. That's it. And we need to configure Spring MVC to resolve this relative URL to a view name. We have the Spring MVC controller class here, but for simplicity we can create a new Spring MVC configuration class here to just map URL with view name MVC config, and this class implements the web MVC configurer interface. And we override a method, the add view controllers method, add view controllers method here. Okay, and here we simply add the mapping, add view controller / login with the view name, set view name login. Okay, that's very simple, and we need to annotate this class with a configuration annotation. Okay, So this is to try out Spring Framework to result the login relative URL here to a view name, which is login.html file here. Okay, now let's try to start our application. Test. Okay, started and refresh. And you see the custom login form appears here because we specify that all requests need to be authenticated. Now let's try to enter the username, name HM, password, code, Java, as we specify the in-memory user details. Login. And I think we have error, but it is not shown. Sorry, I'm very sorry. In the login form, we need to specify the action of the form here. The action of the form here. We use a timelift attribute th colon action equal si/login, and the method is post. Okay, save the file, and we need to use the HTML namespace for timelift here. HTML and s colon th equal http timelift.org, and I click this live reload icon to enable automatic reload whenever I make changes to the code. Okay, let's refresh. View the source code, and you will see the form has action and method here. Now try to log in. And you see in the URL we have login question mark error here. That means the login failed. And in the login form here, we need to display a error message to the user. User div th if, and make sure that the parameter param error is present here. You see parameter error is present here, and we display an error message here. So error message is invalid username or password. And you see it displays the message invalid username or password. Now in the web security config here, we need to annotate this as a bin. Save and test again. We got error here. So I think we need to restart the application manually. Okay, now test login again. And in the console view now you will see a error here. There is no password encoder mapped for the ID. No, that means we need to specify a password encoder for the password because raw password, plain text password is not recommended. So here we need to declare a bin to specify a password encoder. Public password encoder. Password encoder. And we return a new BCrypt password encoder, which is a strong password hashing algorithm recommended by Spring Security. And since we use the BCrypt password encoder here, we need to encode the password here with BCrypt format. But let's try to run this to see what will happen. Now try to enter. And now in the console view we don't see error, but a warning here. You can see the warning here. Encoded password does not look like BCrypt. That means we need to encode this literal for password in BCrypt format. We can write a small utility class to generate the password. Class is secure password generator with the main method. Finished. And here in this class we simply create a new instance of the BCrypt password encoder. Encoder equal new BCrypt password encoder, and our raw password is code Java, and encoded password is encoder encode raw password, and we print out the encoded password, and we run this program to see the BCrypt encoded form of the password. Run as the application, and you see this is encoded form of the password in BCrypt format. So copy and paste into our Spring Security config here. Password for the user name SM here. Okay. Now let's test login again. Name SM, password is code Java. Login. And you see, login successfully, and the product list page appears. Very good, right? And you see, since I have been authenticated, I can use all the features of the application normally. And now we need to add text to display the login username and the logout button to the product manager page here. We have the index here, which is home page product manager. And we display the name of the login user here. We use heading for tag, for example. No, that's the paragraph. We use time-lived syntax inline value of a variable to text equal text and welcome, and then the variable http submit request dot remote user. This is the username. Save. And you see the username appears here. Welcome nam sm here. And we need to add a logout button from ts action equal /logout, and the method is post, and we have only a logout button. Input type equal submit, value equal logout. Okay, save. And you see the logout button here. And click here, we log out. And you see, after logout, we see the login page again. And you can see in the URL there's a parameter question mark logout here. So in the login page, we can update to display the successful logout message, just like this. If there's a parameter name logout present, we display a successful message for logout. You have been logged out successfully, or just you have been logged out. Save. And you see now it displays the message you have been logged out. You can see it is updated very quickly because I'm using a Spring Boot developer tools with live reload extension installed in the Chrome browser here. Now let's try to add a second in-memory user. We have the user 1 here, and we copy and paste this to create a second in-memory user2. Username is admin. This user has a role admin user2, and we need to generate BCrypt encoded password. So run this program. Raw password is nimda. Run as the application. Here we go, the BCrypt encoded string for the password nimda, and we paste here. Save, and now let's test to log in again. Now this time I enter something wrong, and you see the error message invalid username and password, and I enter username admin password nimda, and you see I have logged in with the username admin here, so I can access all the features of the product manager application. We need to copy paste welcome message and logout button to edit and new product form here. Index. So we copy this piece of code to the edit product page. And new product page. Okay, save and click edit, and you see in the edit page we have the welcome message followed by the username and logout button here, and also in the new form here. Click here to log out. Now let's update the security configuration. Now I want that all users, non-authenticated user, can see the home page to see all the products. Only the authenticated users can see the edit and new product page. So in the Spring security configuration class here, for the HTTP here, we specify authorize request and matches to match the URL. This is the URL to the home page, and permit all. So this means the home page will be accessible to public users. And in the index page here, we delete this code that display the username and login button. Okay, save and test. Now let's try to access the application's home page, and you see now we can see the list of products without the need to log in. But let's try to create a new product, and we must log in. You see, very good, right? And enter the username sm code java, and you see after login it automatically redirects to the create new product page. And now let's try to create a new product. For example, Xiaomi brand Xiaomi for made in China. Price $36. Save. And you see the new product got created here. But to edit or create, you need to log in. Now click logout. So far we have done implementing the form authentication, login, logout for our Spring Boot application. And bonus, I will show you how to implement some authorization code to the Spring Boot application. For example, I want the user has a role. User will be able to create new product, but only the users with their own admin can edit and delete products. As you can see in the project, in the Spring Security configuration, we have two users with different role. User 1 with role user and user 2 with role admin here. So to implement authorization in the configure method here, we use MVC matches for the URL. As you can see, the create new product link has a URL /new. So we specify that the user must have the role as role user. No, we specify the edit and delete hyperlink. Edit and delete must has role admin. Okay, that's it. Now save and test. Click create new product and I had to log in, and now I log in with user name SM, which has a role user, and you can see. And back to the product manager list page and try click to edit. The user name SM has role admin. I think it should be unmatcher method. Okay, save and test again. Edit. Look vào name SM code Java. Name SM code Java. Edit. Oh, in the URL you can see the URL /edit and / with the ID of the product. So in matcher method here we must specify edit / asterisk and edit asterisk. Okay. Okay, very good. And now we can see we got the while label arrow paste and the HTTP status is forbidden 403 here. Let's test again. Create a new product normally and edit. We got arrow paste here. Edit and delete because this user has only user row. Edit, delete, you see. Now log out and login with admin user, which has the admin row named. Okay, and now the admin can edit, create new product, edit, you see. It is a price to 888, save, you see, and delete brand for here. So that's how to implement authorization code. You specify the role for user here like this, and in the configure method use the unmatched method to specify which URL must have which roles here. And let me show you a further step with the user that has admin role. Here we see the actions edit and delete. So to do so, you need to add additional dependency to the POM XML file here for timelift integration with Spring Boot security. Here, dependency group ID is org timelift dot adjust, and artifact ID is timelift dash adjust dash Spring security. And it's better to stop the application. Okay, save the pom.html file. Sorry, we must have Spring security 5 here. Okay, and in the Maven dependencies section here we see timelift for Spring security here. The index page still need to display the login username and logout button. Okay, and this is a product listing page, and now I want that only the user has a role. Admin can see the action, edit and delete here. But to do so in the HTML tag here, we need to declare an additional XML namespace for timelift security tag. HTTPS timelift.org/timelift dash adjust dash Spring security 5. And here the actions, and we need to specify that only the user has a role. I mean, we can see this, so we use the th sec authorize has a role, and the role name is admin. Okay, and apply the same for the action for the table column here. Okay, that's it, and now start the application and test. So you can see Spring Boot security makes it easy and simple to implement authentication and authorization. Now we go to the home page here. We haven't logged in yet, so the username is empty here, no problem. Create new product, we require login, and now I log in with the username SM, which has a role user. And you see the create new product here. Band 5 Xiaomi, made in China, price 99. Save. And you see now in the product list page, in the home page, the this user doesn't see the action columns that contains hyperlinks, edit and delete. Very good, right? And click logout. And now let's try to log in with the user admin, which who has a role admin. And now with this user, I can see the actions edit and delete. For example, I delete Samsung Galaxy A7 here. So far so good, right? So great. So far you have learned how to implement form authentication with in-memory users for a Spring Boot application using Spring Boot Spring Security APIs. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Please click subscribe, like, comment and share this video. I am Nam Amin from CodeJava.net. Thank you.